welcome back to the Save Point Vids podcast, episode 14, I think. 13 or 14, something like that. I of course am Josh. I've got Sean and Chase here. Welcoming them back. Excuse me, I can't talk. I think this is the first time you guys have been on since before E3.
Yeah.
So today's episode is going to be basically with it halfway over, or with 2019 halfway over. We're going to do a half year in review. Just the highs and lows, what have we been playing, what are we looking forward to for the second half. Just kind of spitballing and just seeing what comes out of it. But before we get into that, just want to let you know that you can find this video at youtube.com/SavePointVids. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the same account, SavePointVids. If you haven't yet, give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. We'd definitely appreciate the support. Oh, and I promised my son, who, if you watch the Apex Legends Season 2 Let's Play that we just put up, I promised that I would pimp out his Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/BubbyTTV. So if you could give him a follow, hop in there. He mostly plays Fortnite, but I promised him that I would do that, so definitely check him out. For being only 10 years old, he's above average, which seems to be...
He is, man.
Which definitely seems to be the trend. They're getting younger and younger, it seems like. But anyway, so let's jump right into it. What have you guys been playing?
I'll go first. I'm Sean, by the way. Let's see. I would say that my highlight for the first half of the year is definitely Sekiro. After we talked about it a while back, I bought it, and I'm stuck about 2/3 of the way through. But I've always been a Dark Souls fan, and I like...
So have you played the other ones? Like the first three?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never beat them.
I
Dark Souls 2, I got probably the farthest. I got probably about 2/3 of the way through also. And the reason I like it is I always thought Dark Souls was just too slow.
Okay. Yeah.
Not that that's a bad mechanic, but it's can
Slower
be frustrating, you know.
See, I never got... And so I remember playing the original Demon Souls on PS3.
That was so long ago, but yeah.
Which I think was around a PS3 launch title, so 2007, 8, somewhere in there.
Was it that long? Damn. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Damn. Yeah. And then I never played any of the Dark Souls because I...
Suck at them?
Yeah, I can't... I don't like getting my teeth kicked in over and over. And
I know, but when you win, it's so satisfying, which is what always keeps me going. I'm stuck on some kind of monk guy.
So is
Corrupted Monk, that's his name.
So is it because it's fast? Because you play as a ninja, right? Or
yeah.
Is a ninja or a samurai ninja?
Yeah,
okay.
it's a ninja.
So it's faster paced, the gameplay? Like
faster paced, you gotta
I
grapple.
like the gameplay more than Dark Souls, any of the Dark Souls, or Bloodborne.
Yeah. Also, I like
it's
Bloodborne
more,
because it was fast.
It's faster, it's more fluid.
Okay.
Which makes sense since you're a ninja.
Right.
I'm sure Dark Soul purists are like, you
D-bags.
Sure
they're going crazy right now.
See, that would appeal.
They got such a loyal following.
Because I played, well, what was the PS4 one? The exclusive one that... Not Bloodborne. Was it Bloodborne?
Bloodborne?
Was it Bloodborne?
Yeah, Bloodborne. It was exclusive.
It was like a...
It was like a Dark Souls type. I don't even... Was that From Software?
Yep.
It was From Software?
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember playing that one. It came out on PS Plus a year ago, or it might have been longer than that. I played probably 2 or 3 hours, and I just couldn't get to the first boss. Like, the normal enemies were fine, but it was still to the point where you had to... It's not like most action games where you can just, like, they're like fodder, and you can just, like, hack and slash your way through them, and they really
Even
pose.
the lowest enemy, the easiest enemy can kill you if you don't
play if you're sloppy.
Yeah, if you're sloppy.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just, I like those games. They're rewarding. It was really well made. Sekiro, I'm talking about. Gorgeous, you know.
I think Sekiro, it's a little bit easier than the Dark Souls games.
Yeah, it's a little more forgiving with the movement system, the grapple system. You kind of grapple, you know, if you get swamped, you can grapple out of the way.
There's a sneaking mechanic where you can sneak up behind enemies and get like instant kill on regular enemies.
Okay.
So yeah.
So is it? So can you play it as a stealth game, or does it certain areas it forces you to like
Certain
it's action?
areas you're gonna run. You could probably get through a lot of it. The regular enemy stealth through, but somebody's gonna eventually see you, and you're gonna have to fight your way out.
Yeah.
That's
So
just how it is.
So knowing that, how excited? Because like I said, we haven't talked since E3. How excited are you? Now we didn't see a whole lot, but of the George Railroad Martin game, that is supposed to be basically Dark Souls, but with a fantasy.
Elden Ring.
like a high Elden Ring, like a high fantasy setting.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I think From Software, I don't know if they made games before Demon Souls. I don't know their history.
I don't either.
But they haven't made a bad game. And with George R. Martin,
Anything
he's
with
writing it, right? And then kind of like
I think he's writing it.
some
Yeah,
of
and
the-
he's like a not executive producer, but he's like
can't think of the
story
like consultant.
consultant.
type
Something like
person.
that. I think like the world that they've created is based on like his framework,
Yeah.
and From Software is kind of filling in the
Is it
blanks.
complete? It's not based on anything that he's done. He's just
I think it's an
creating
original
this
world
original-
that he made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I want to see some gameplay. I don't know.
I was expecting to see some. Well, I mean, granted, not necessarily. I don't remember what I actually predicted, but I was hoping that we would see some gameplay
Yeah.
come out of that.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. I don't think they even gave a release date though. But
I don't think they did either. If my guess is, it's probably next gen, which is why they didn't give a release date, or
Probably.
it's probably running on next gen hardware, or at the very least, it's like cross gen, which I could see that happening too. But anything else? What else have you guys been playing? What else?
A lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Black
we're
Ops
Call
4?
of Duty guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
Black Ops 4.
Now, do you guys do the multiplayer? Did I already ask you this, or Blackout, or both?
A little bit of both.
Mostly
multiplayer.
multiplayer, though.
Okay.
And they got the new update coming, the new operation, which they're adding some guns. They're adding some new maps. I think they're redoing Havana from
Okay.
Black Ops 2, I
Right.
think it is. Yeah, Call of Duty. We've been Call of Duty fans for
I mean, since
since Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Well, even before Modern Warfare.
Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
That was the first Call of Duty
Call
I
of
played.
Duty 3.
that was the one that launched on 360, wasn't it? Or
That
was
was
that no Call of Duty 2? Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind.
So
God, I remember
but
when that
and
came out.
it's not like those games are even perfect. I hate the loot boxes. They've lightened up on those mechanics a little bit.
Really?
But there's just something about that.
It's something about Call of Duty's formula. It's so addicting that
Yeah.
even when I hate the game, I can't
Yeah.
not play it.
Right.
See, I played Black Ops 4
Uh-huh.
pretty hardcore for the first, probably till about Christmas, maybe even a little after, into January. Prestiged once. I think I was well on my way a second time, and I think I got distracted by something, and I just never kind of went back to it. Oh, Apex came out.
Yeah.
So whenever Apex came out, I think I switched, and then I just never really kind of went back.
Yeah.
But I'm super, super excited for
Modern Warfare.
the reboot. So
I can't wait.
I like that they're kind of like stripping out all of the extras. Like, what was it? It must have been 3. I don't think it was this one. Which one was it? Like, where you could wall run, or is it this one? You can wall
Black
run?
Ops 3. You can
Black
walk
Ops
around.
See,
3,
that's where, like,
Advanced
when-
Warfare,
Yeah.
Infinite Warfare.
They had like the exosuits, and you could like wall run, and like, I mean, you can still double jump in this, but it started to be almost too much. And
I
think
agree.
I think the fact that they're gonna like scale it way back, make it more
Go back to
realistic.
basics.
Yeah.
The reason everybody's so hyped is everybody's favorite Call of Duty is Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the direction that they're going. Although, I don't know, I've heard a rumor that the actual like gameplay, the shooting mechanics are going to be a little more Rainbow Six Siege.
Really.
I don't know if that's true. I don't remember where I read that, but I know I did read it somewhere.
See,
Which would be interesting.
I don't know if that's a great idea, only
Me either.
because Call of Duty, when you play a Call of Duty game, you know exactly what you're getting into,
Yeah.
and it's a
Twitch.
very specific feel
Mm-hmm.
compared to a Rainbow Six or Halo
Yeah.
or
Battlefield
or Battlefield or anything like that. Like, I think if they tweak it too much,
Yeah, I don't think they would. Maybe that person was just trying to get some clicks.
right?
I don't see them actually slowing it down like that.
No, that's what makes Call of Duty Call
Yeah.
of Duty.
Yeah. Although I did hear a rumor that they're going to have like night only maps, and then you have to use your night vision goggles because it's like pitch black.
That would be cool.
There's no ADS, no aim down sights. Everything's hip fire, and it changes the mechanics, and it's like its own
That
kind
could
of
be
game
cool.
mode.
I could see that. I could see that being a big thing.
That night vision that looked real in that trailer.
Yeah,
The trailer was
Like-
really good. I was very surprised that
That engine looks good.
they were able to pull that off with the PS4. I don't know if it's a brand new. Is that do we know? Is that a brand new engine?
I don't know if it's a brand new
Or is
engine,
it
but
just
whatever
reworked?
engine they're using, if it's the same, they
Right.
upgraded big time because that looks really good.
It looked really good. At first I thought it was even though they didn't confirm it, I thought it was like a PS5 Xbox.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really did. I thought it was. It looked that good. So to know that's coming out, this this fall is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It also has me excited for the story mode, which is I don't really
Yeah.
play the story modes in Call of Duties. I just get them.
See,
for
that's
the
what I play.
multiplayer.
I'm not one of those. For the most part, I will at the very least start the campaign before I jump into multiplayer. And so to know that they are, because did you guys? It was everywhere. IGN, GameSpot. Did you guys read or see the demo that they showed at E3 about the campaign? How it was.
No, I read about it. Was there video?
No, there was no video,
Okay.
but yeah, just their impressions. But yeah, it's like I think it was, and it got a mixed reaction because it seemed so.
It was too real.
It was too real. It was too graphic or
It's
whatever.
kind of.
It was the same. It's the
I
same
don't
thing.
want to make nobody mad, but that's a lot of kind of soft people saying that because that's what That's what
which one
video
was it?
games
That's
are.
what people want. And then when they get it,
Which Modern Warfare? Which game was it? The airport.
No Russian.
Yeah,
it's
Um,
Modern Warfare 2.
yeah.
2? Okay, so same thing. Like it was. They made such a huge. Like you can mow down civilians.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a video.
It's a video
people.
game.
Yeah.
It's fictional.
But so it seems to be very. What's the term that I read? Basically, it seemed like that even though obviously it's a first person shooter, the way that kind of it was laid out was like it seemed like a journalist was over there like covering covering the battle or whatever, and that it was it tried to like bring it more in your face. So
I'm down for it.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm super
What
excited.
do those people think real combat's
Yeah,
like?
I don't know. I'm 100% in. I'm unabashedly a Call of Duty fan. I know it gets a lot of hate.
I like how they're.
But this game actually, people are hyped for this game.
They're
now.
like rebooting the story, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, but like we're keeping like some of the same characters, like
Price.
Captain Price. And
Yeah.
He said I know at the end of the trailer he said he's bringing some friends. So I'm guessing Soap.
Oh yeah. Was it
forgot
Soap
it. I
McTavish?
can't-
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 was probably the last campaign I actually played, so
Yeah.
that was a long time
I played
ago.
them all, I think.
I played them all up until like Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah. When like the Infinite Warfare and stuff, I kind of.
Which
Fell
one?
off.
Which one was Advanced Warfare? Was
That was the one that I
That
think
was
had
the
Kevin
first-
Spacey.
Was that Kevin
in it.
Spacey?
I think that was the
Yeah.
first
I did
one that
play
had,
that
like,
one.
the exosuits.
I played a little bit of that one.
Yeah.
because that was when House of Cards was really big, and so
Yeah.
it was like a
Creepy guy.
yeah.
Charges were dropped.
Interesting.
Oh, they did just like within the last couple of days.
Yeah,
Yeah, they.
but that's an aside.
That's a different story for a different time.
Anything else? What else?
What'd
you guys
played
think
a lot
of-
of Kingdom Hearts 3.
I was gonna say, how'd that go?
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
can't-
I couldn't get into it.
really?
I bought it.
My
Go ahead.
favorite's still the first Kingdom Hearts.
Is it?
I liked it more than the second one, any of the side ones.
Yeah.
It's just it felt like they held back a lot because they knew they were going to be releasing DLC.
Yeah. I
See, I
kind of hate that feeling. I know
It's-
Chase also played Resident Evil. I didn't get around to Resident Evil 2
I love the
remake.
Resident Evil remake. It was
So,
so good.
probably right now, Resident Evil 2 remake is probably my game of the year. Either that or Judgment. I am really, really enjoying.
What's Judge?
It's the
I might be ignorant, but I don't know what that is.
it's the Yakuza spinoff.
Oh,
So-
okay.
I never played any of the
Dude,
Yakuza
it's so
games.
good. So it's
When did that come out?
week 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a recent release. Really good graphics. The story is really cool. So you play as an ex-attorney turned private investigator, basically. So you
Does
learn.
it still like take place in Japan?
Yeah, so it takes place in Japan. It takes place in one district in Japan, Kamurocho, which I don't know if is actually real or if it's fictional. But it takes place in Kamurocho, and so you're an ex-attorney, and light spoilers, but you've learned this in the first 10 minutes of the game. So the reason he's an ex-attorney is that he basically defended a guy that was accused of murder or rape or something, and he was such a good attorney that he was able to get his client off. But then it cuts to the next scene, and it turns out he was actually crazy, and he killed his girlfriend and set the apartment on fire. And so he was like super like guilty conscience, and he was like, I can't do this anymore, whatever. And then it flash forwards 3 years where the game actually picks up or starts, and you started a private investigator company, you and your friend Taito, who is an ex-Yakuza member. But then what happens is that there is a series of killings. It's like a serial killer who is targeting Yakuza members, and he has a very specific MO in that he takes like an ice pick and like gouges their eyes out. And so
Sweet Jesus.
It's very.
yeah,
Sounds crazy.
and so, but anyway, so that's, I don't want to say anything more about the plot. But anyway, the game's really good. If you like those type of games, it's open world, but it's not like Grand Theft Auto, do anywhere, do anything.
Right.
Or go anywhere, do anything. There's still, there's a lot of limitations on what you can do. But it's trying to tell this very, I don't want to say very serious, but this like crime noir type of vibe,
I like that.
Yeah, vibe to it.
Is that multi-platform or is that an exclusive?
I don't know. I check on that. I don't know.
Because I'm an Xbox guy, so I'm in the Xbox store. I haven't seen it. Maybe that's why I haven't heard of it. I haven't seen anything.
It might be PS4 exclusive. But it's so it's trying to tell like this serious, it's still like over the top in the way that it's presented, but this serious story. But it's like, it's also like the gameplay is very arcadey. So there's like 2 fighting styles that you have, and you can upgrade through skills and experience points. But there is with a Tiger, which is better for one-on-one fights, and then there's I think Crane, which is better for if you like surrounded by enemies or you have multiple people to take on.
Sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so it's like super arcadey. There are combo, fight, people like you'll run through the street to like get to your next objective, and like random, like they literally say like street thugs. They'll try to like they'll like try to jump you, and then there's like a brawl in the street, whatever.
Is it like that Batman like Arkham type?
Kind of,
like
kind of. And so it's very cool. It's either like I said, it's either that or Resident Evil 2, which I really liked.
Watched Chase play it, but
Did you beat it? Did you? Did you play it? Now, did you do both like scenario A and B or whatever? Or
No.
Did you play as Leon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leon. It was good, man. I think it reminds me of Final Fantasy VII Remake in that it's taking the framework of what we loved about it and just updating updating it,
expanding.
Updating it for 2019.
Like adding that one guy who chases you around.
Was it Mr. It wasn't Mr. X, was it?
I think it was
Mr. X. Okay.
Yeah.
I get him in the Nemesis. I don't know what the difference is, but
I don't like scary games.
And just whenever you're running around and you start to hear
attack.
those footsteps behind you,
it really does. Your adrenaline goes through the roof.
I think the only scary game I ever beat was Resident Evil, the last one before
7.
7. Yeah, that was. Other than that, I think I tried. What was that one where you had to use like the night? You had a camera.
Outlast.
Yeah, I played that for like 10 minutes. That was too scary.
Outlast 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, Resident Evil 2, man, it's everything that I think that whether you're an old fan or you've never played Resident Evil before, you're younger, I think it's everything that you could want.
I like how they kept with the over-the-shoulder view, but went back to more survival horror.
Right.
Yes.
Instead of action.
Yeah.
Were there
Because like 5 and 6 were very
5
action.
especially, just 6
Oh,
definitely.
I did beat 5 only because it wasn't scary.
Because it took place in broad daylight all
Yeah.
the time.
and you're just mowing people down.
Yeah.
Right. That was like Gears of War kind of.
Mm-hmm.
See, which, I mean, this is a different
and
topic.
then they went
day,
back
but-
to the first person, or went to first person for
Right.
7, and that was scary. And then
See, I think the rumor is that Resident Evil 8 is supposed to be in the style of Resident Evil 7. It's going to be first person, and that I don't remember where I read this. Again, it could be just somebody on Reddit for all I know. But then there was a rumor that Resident Evil 3 was going to be remade.
That's with Nemesis.
With Nemesis, right? I think it was with Jill Valentine
Yeah,
who played
yeah.
as. Who knows? But yeah.
it was really good. I liked how it felt like you were surviving because like bullets were sparse.
Yeah, it was
like there's times when I'd like completely run out of ammo,
and you would have to run.
Yeah.
Like you would have to,
Did
run.
it still have like the puzzles and stuff?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Good. I'm glad that they
that's
didn't
like
take
my
that out.
favorite part. Of,
I love.
I thought they were more. I mean, as much as police station can have like secret rooms everywhere, but it seemed more grounded in the world of Resident Evil. It wasn't like. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it was like you had to find like the red medallion and put it into the. No, well, actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, no,
you had to find like a red stone.
Yeah,
and put it
no,
in the
never mind.
statue
I
hand.
do take that back. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
I enjoy that stuff about Resident Evil. It makes
it's
it like,
very campy, but it's in the right way.
I enjoy like when I have to use my brain a little bit
Yeah.
to try to solve something.
Yeah.
Like same with like Zelda games and the puzzles in those. It's just I don't know. It's a nice break just from mashing buttons and.
So you're going with Resident Evil 2 for your game of the year so far, or was it the Yakuza
Judgment? I don't know. It's. I have to think about it. I really do because I'm enjoying Judgment way more than I thought I did, and I think it's because of the. It's because of the story. Because, like I said, it's like the characters are really great. The motivations seem real. It's grounded enough in the way that it's presented. But there are some really annoying parts to it that really detract. There are certain sections where you have to like tail, like you have to like follow and track like somebody walking through the town to like see where they're going.
Yeah.
And so you have to like hide in certain areas so they don't like. There's a meter at the top that fills up as they like suspect they're being followed. And so it comes down to, at least for several of them, it comes down to trial and error, because there's always one specific route that they take, and there's always, I mean, it's the same setup, so there's only certain things that you can hide behind, and so you can try to like go from point A to point B, but if you like, you know, you think that you can skip hiding behind this car to go over here to hide behind this wall, but they turn around too soon, and so it like they catch you and it kicks you back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
And so
that
it's
can
like
be a
it's
little-
really
that's
trial. It's
finicky.
a lot of it's trial and error. That was really the only. That's really the only like negative thing I have to say about it, which isn't bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be one of those two, at least so far this year. The other game that I've been playing wasn't released this year was Detroit Become Human, which
I heard that's kind of like it didn't like blow up upon release, but it's been like gaining like like a lot of like
I think it was overshadowed.
positive vibes. Yeah,
It was overshadowed because it was released, I think, within the month of God of War, around that same time frame. And then I was what other was it Zelda that came out last spring? Was that 2018?
No,
Or
talking
no?
about Breath of the Wild?
No,
Or
I thought there was a Nintendo, like a big Nintendo Switch game that came out maybe on the same day or around that same time as Detroit. I might be making that up.
I don't remember
I don't know.
when Smash Bros came out, but
That was in the fall, I think. It doesn't matter. But anyway,
yeah.
it was definitely overshadowed. I wish I would have played it when it first came out, but I also got it for $8 on a sale,
Hey.
so that wasn't bad.
Can't beat that.
Did you guys ever play Heavy Rain on the PS3?
Beat it.
Okay.
And I.
And then
What was the one before that? Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit on PS2.
Yeah, I beat
And then
that.
What, like Indigo Prophecy?
Indigo Prophecy.
Yeah.
On
Fahrenheit,
Xbox.
depending on where it was released, it was either
Yeah.
Indigo Prophecy. I think it was Indigo Prophecy in the
Here,
States, and then
yeah.
it was Fahrenheit overseas. I think it was like trademark issue or something.
Yeah.
And then Beyond Two Souls came out on PS3 after Heavy Rain, which was the one with
Ellen Page.
and William Dafoe.
Never got around to that one.
It was okay. It wasn't
Is that the one where she has like?
psychic abilities,
Yeah.
telekinetic abilities, yeah. And she has like basically this ghost that follows her around and like does all the weird shit. Anyway, this game was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoy games like that. Like
It's very
Heavy Rain.
now you guys don't play
games.
PS4 games. I was gonna say it reminds me a lot of not in the story or the plot, but the gameplay. What was the one that came out? It wasn't Quantic Dream. It was the one with Hayden Panettiere and Rami Malek.
Something Night or Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
Dawn,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. It's like
I actually played Until Dawn.
okay. So it's not campy in the way that Until Dawn was, where it was like basically a teenage slasher flick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable. It was a
Yes,
fun game.
yeah, and so it's the same type of gameplay though. It's very much an adventure game where you're making decisions that can, like just like in Until
Quick
Dawn,
time
yeah,
events
quick
and
time
stuff.
events. Like all of the action scenes in Detroit are quick time events, so it's all button presses. You're not like controlling it like a fighting game.
Press X to pay
Yeah.
respects.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it's.
I like quick time events if they're used correctly.
well, that's all this is quick time events.
Yeah, but in games like that, they make it work.
Right. So yeah, I mean it's for those that don't know, it's about basically it takes place in I think 2048 maybe in Detroit, of course, and it's all about how like what does it mean to be an android, and can they like are they conscious and like what are they what am I trying to say? Do they understand their own existence, and are they actually
Is it
humans?
kind of like
self-aware. That's
is
what
it kind of like what's it called? That movie with Harrison Ford,
Blade Runner?
Blade Runner, like where they're like they don't like they're like humans, but they're like self-aware. They don't know.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, in a sense, it's like they are. So they're, they can simulate, all of the human emotions, like literally the whole gamut of human emotions, and.
But is it like real?
But is it real?
Or is it just programmed?
Yes, exactly. And so you play as three main characters. You play as, I can't remember their names now. Shoot, why don't you guys look it up? Like Detroit. Here, I'll do it. I can't remember the names of them for some reason. But you play as three characters, and one of them is basically a servant who is taking care of like his job. What he was programmed to do is be a caretaker for this elderly man. The
I'd
second
be
one,
upset if I found out that's my whole
Yeah.
reason for
And so-
existence.
It's like Rick and Morty.
What's your purpose to pass butter?
So it's Kara, who she is a servant for this like really like douchebag, like abusive father who it's very it was probably what the most disturbed I've been playing a game, because he's like let me back up. He goes to the Android store to and all of these models are up on the wall, and they basically just pick them out, like whatever, like for whatever they need, and so he walks in, and you find out that he dropped Kara off the Android because he basically beat the shit out of her and had needed it repaired. Okay, and so he repairs it, drives her home. This is all like within the opening scene, so. But you find out later that he has like a 10-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter, whatever,
So he's a closet douchebag.
Yeah, very much. And like the wife left him, and so like him and the daughter live in like, so it's very much like in like downtown Detroit, it's very upscale, it's very futuristic looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when you get outside of the city, it's very what you would imagine it would be in like the slums or the ghetto, like broken down houses, broken down cars, stuff like that. So that's where they live. But you play as Kara, who's like the caretaker for that family. Then you have Connor, who is his programming, or what he was designed. I was going to say born. What he was designed to do was be an investigator and help out the police, mostly for what they call deviants, which are androids that have gone rogue and like are doing things outside of their normal programming.
Right.
And then you also play as Marcus, who is he's the third android. He's played by Jesse Williams, which if you guys didn't know, I didn't know this, but he is the one that's on the cover. But he was in ER, General Hospital.
Never watched
Hey,
those
Steph.
shows.
Which one? Grey's Anatomy. So he was in Grey's Anatomy. So he's like one of the characters in Grey's Anatomy, but he's probably the most famous of the three. But anyway, and so you depending on where you're at in the plot, you play as all three of those characters that switch off. The gameplay is very slow and deliberate, just like Until Dawn, just like Heavy Rain.
Mm-hmm.
But the plot was really good. It really does make you, at least it did to me. I got really invested in it. It makes you really think like, well, shit, what if this becomes real? And then it's like, because like I said, they start to like, they have all these emotions, and does that make them real? And then again, you have these deviants that are acting outside of the programming, which they think is a glitch or
Right.
it's just like but then they're like, well, what if it's a mutation in their programming?
Like evolution?
Yeah, in their evolution, and are they becoming conscious, and what does that mean? And
means you gotta destroy the robots, man.
And
This
so-
is how the Matrix started.
And so it's really cool because you have like all of these branching paths. Some of them don't really mean anything, like it's option A or B, but it ultimately ends up at the same point.
Uh-huh.
But then a lot of them, I don't know how many different endings. I think there's like 8 or 10 different endings, depending on who, like which of the main characters live and die and stuff like that, just like the other ones. Now I only played it through once, and I got to a specific ending where, like I tried to play it peacefully, where even though the humans were, basically, they were trying to like destroy us or us. They were trying to destroy them, and they, they wanted to wage war, and they wanted to like basically just like firebomb the whole area. And
I feel like those games, if you try to take a peaceful route, they will punish you.
And so I tried to play it very much like a pacifist. So even though like there was one specific scene, light spoilers, where you're marching through like Main Street or whatever, downtown Detroit, and it's a protest for basically equal rights for androids.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the street, there's like the army or the National Guard or whatever, and as you're walking, the camera is like shifting, and it's like very dramatic, and the music's playing in the background, and the button prompts come up where you can basically like
Inside a riot?
yeah, incite a riot or be peaceful, or you can sit down, like cross-legged and just like protest peacefully and quietly, or you can basically try to cause as much mayhem as possible. I always tried to take the peaceful route, and so I got to a specific ending where basically, I don't remember how exactly I got there, but basically we got equal rights, and the war was avoided.
Oh, that's no fun.
But you can also, there's a very distinct path that you can take where it would be like all out chaos to see who comes out on top. I didn't play that one, but I know for a fact that's one of the endings you can get.
I'd go back and replay it, man. Make some different decisions.
But it's really cool because the decisions you make, at the end of each chapter, there's a flow chart.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can literally see, now you can't see the decisions that you didn't make, those are blacked out.
Yeah.
But for the decisions that you did make, it basically literally goes through a flow chart to see how you came to what that conclusion, and if you did want to go back and replay it, what differences what decisions you could make differently. It's really good. But yeah, if you really have, actually Leo has a PS4, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have PS Plus? Do you know?
Yeah, pretty sure he does.
You can download it. It's on PS Plus this month for free if you guys like Heavy Rain Until Dawn, check it out. It's really, really good. I think you guys would really like it. What else? I got my notes here. Judgment, Detroit, Kingdom Hearts. I played that. Yeah, I couldn't get into Kingdom Hearts. I played it for... I got to Toy Story, which I think was the second world, or at least second one that I went to. And...
Yeah, like second or third.
I just couldn't get into it. I don't...
Sekiro, man.
I don't know, man. I don't want to get my teeth kicked in for... Yeah, an hour just to...
It is frustrating.
I don't know.
But
it's cool.
when you beat them, it's like a big FU to the game.
That's my favorite game of the year so far. Or a game that I'm like 5 or 6 years late to that I started playing a couple weeks ago, Warframe.
Is that the free-to-play?
It's awesome, dude. It's like everything that you wanted, like Destiny
Really?
to be and all those games.
That's what I'll say after this.
Yeah, so it's free to play. If you want to use real money, it's cosmetics only. But even everything that you could buy, you can still get it through conventional means, just playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm super late to the Warframe party, there's so much to do. It's a little overwhelming sometimes. But
so is it like
a looter shooter?
Okay, so it's a looter shooter. It's not like a battle royale.
No, it's a looter shooter. Like a third-person Destiny sci-fi type of deal. I don't understand the story.
So the Warframe, is that the actual character? So I remember seeing it on PSN. It was always advertised as one of the free-to-play. Is it?
You'll be hooked.
Now, are you do you jump into like a mech or something? Is that what
your Warframe is? Your
Is it like an exosuit? Okay.
Type thing.
Okay.
And I think they had I want to say they have like 30 Warframes right now, different suits and
different powers,
each one has their own powers, their own abilities. There's so much to do that sometimes I just have to stop playing. I kind of felt that way in Red Dead Redemption 2 also.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love looter shooters, and if we get into the disappointing games of the year, there's one particular game that I want my money back.
Oh, Anthem.
Yeah, they suckered me into playing Anthem.
So what, because I never played it.
It's a fun game, man, but there's nothing.
There's nothing in the game.
The gameplay mechanics are cool.
So what? So there's nothing to do because, like I said, I don't.
After a certain point, there's
right. So yeah,
I grinded it out. I probably had like 100 hours into it, but after that,
there's no end game content. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, when I quit, there wasn't. Okay. I'd done it all, and there was like 3 missions to do.
See, I try to get into those games. I really do. So, and the reason I didn't get Anthem, and I'm glad I didn't, is because I tried to get into Destiny 1. I just fell off of that.
Me too. I played it a lot, but once I got to a certain point, I was burned out.
Destiny 2, the same thing. I played it really...
Destiny 2 is going free to play.
That's what I remember hearing that.
Bungie is they're trying to do the Warframe thing. Mm-hmm. And
which
since they don't have
Blizzard...
Activision over their heads. They're trying to do it the right way, so that's cool.
But yeah, that one, even I didn't play the second one, but the First Division, I don't even think I beat the campaign on that one. I think I got probably 2/3 of the way through, and then I fell out of it for some reason.
Yeah, I played a lot of Division 2.
Did you like that?
Yeah. The thing about those games is I don't recommend buying them on release because you get hooked, and then you grind it out, and then there's nothing to do until the next big thing comes a couple months later.
Right.
By then, you're kind of out of it, and
now
you're on to the next game.
Would that be enough to pull you back in though?
Is that having a big update?
Well, yeah. So I'm wondering if they're in the minds of the publishers. Hey, we're going to release this game. They're going to blaze through it in a month or a week or whatever, and then to keep you from. If you buy it physically, to keep you from selling it off.
Right.
Hey, but here's the year one plan for every 3 months we're going to drop this big update. Would that be enough to bring you back in for a game?
No, because I got burned with Destiny. I was or not Destiny, Anthem, because I was looking at their roadmap and on their website, and everything sounded good. They actually deleted their roadmap off their website. That's how I think the Cataclysm thing just came out, and I was watching gameplay of that, and it just didn't look it didn't add enough variety.
Didn't look refreshing enough.
Yeah.
Nah. And so like the looter shooter thing, I'm kind of not the looter shooter because but what do they call it, like games as services,
live service.
services.
Yeah, games as
I'm
service,
kind
live
of almost
service.
over that trend because
I don't think it's going anywhere. That's the thing. If anything,
except
I think,
for Warframe, I'll say that. I'm enjoying Warframe a lot right now. And when Destiny 2 goes free to play with their next expansion,
right?
I'm gonna try that out because I still think Bungie's one of the best developers. I just think they had Activision kind of pushing
Making decisions for him.
decisions for him.
I think it's only a matter of time before other games adopt the free-to-play model. I'm surprised more haven't already. I'm talking Madden,
right,
Call of Duty, like the big tentpole games. Because imagine if Madden was free-to-play, maybe you paid for, maybe not roster updates, but yeah, I mean, just imagine, because they already have like the Madden cards, and like, you know, there's, I think it's only a matter of time before they really crack that code. And
it's just free to play is very like fickle. You can either blow up like Fortnite or Warframe, or people will just kind of like hate you for it because you're just monetizing the crap out of the game. So it's like you have to find a very good balance between what you're paying for and what you can get in game, and which is why I like Warframe. Play it if you haven't. It has like 40 million players over its lifetime.
The last thing I want to talk about before we kind of go into the last half of 2019, playing a lot of Apex. Speaking of free to play.
Yeah, man. When it first dropped, I was playing it a lot, and I kind of fell off. And then since I saw the season 2 stuff,
that's what got me back in it. When it first came out, I played it really.
I like it better than Fortnite. I'm not a Fortnite guy.
I'm not either.
I was at first. Stuff.
I'm not
and
either.
And the people you go in there, man, they're too good.
Yeah.
You know?
I was watching Corey play yesterday, and he was getting shot, you know, from whatever direction.
You just build something
literally
around
within like 3 seconds, he like spun the camera in such a way where he built walls all around him, and then a ramp up, and then he I think it was circle to edit it, and he like edited the wall so he could peek out, built another ramp. I mean, within seconds. And I was like, how do you do that? And he was like, well, what I do when I don't have anybody to play with, I'll just go home and practice building. I was like, what is it?
That's what he does. Like whenever he's like over at our house,
these kids are.
He goes into the playground mode and just builds.
Yeah, he just practices building. Yeah. But anyway, so I've been playing Apex. I played it really, really religiously for the first probably month after it originally came out, last fall probably. Fell off for whatever reason. It didn't. I just don't think it grabbed me.
It's a fun game though.
Yeah, they're fun games. I'm just over battle royale games. I mean, I play them, but I fall out of.
Yeah, I mean, it really hit the saturation point very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you had PUBG.
But also, I don't think it's going anywhere.
No,
either.
I mean, I'll keep playing them.
Which is what they want.
But it's just like,
but it's
not excited.
Yeah,
but I'm
it's
gonna do
nothing
it.
I get excited about playing.
Yeah. But this one's really cool. So I mean, I don't know. I didn't play season 1 enough to know like what the big differences are between the two, like the major update.
Right.
For whatever reason, I'm having more fun this time around.
I might go back and play it.
I'm waiting for
It's such a great feeling when you win.
So that's the thing.
That's
I won.
the hook.
We won. I was playing with randoms. I didn't have anybody to play with, but I was playing with randoms. We won 2 days ago. I think that was maybe my second win all time.
Right.
Granted, like I said, I only played the first season for like a month. Since then, we've gotten a couple top 3 finishes, but yeah, I think that's it. It's
the hook. That's what gets you.
It's the
like,
rush.
When it's down, the circle's small, and there's only like a few teams left, and you die. You're like, I was this close to winning. You know, next time is it.
Yeah. So that was good. I don't know. I haven't spent a dime on it. I never spent a dime on Fortnite. You know, Corey, because his account is linked to my email. With like clockwork, every month or every 3 weeks, I'll see a new purchase on PSN for like new skins. He just got the Stranger Things skins. It's been out for 48 hours and he already got it. But But anyway, so
that was us when we were little.
Yeah. So looking to the second half of the year, though, what are you guys looking forward to?
Modern Warfare.
Okay, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And speaking of Battle Royale, I heard they're doing a 200-man Battle Royale for Modern Warfare.
For Modern Warfare?
200-man Battle Royale. The map is supposedly 3 times the size of the Blackout map.
200. That's insane.
I think they're like alpha testing or beta testing at like 150, and they're gonna bump it up to 200.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
what to- I
that's
don't
crazy. Yeah, so Modern Warfare, I'm really hyped for that. If I had a PS4, Death Stranding.
Oh, I'm so pumped for Death Stranding.
Because
I'm
I
pumped
love
for
Kojima.
anything Kojima does. Anything.
too.
He's a god developer, man.
He's up there with
like
Miyamoto.
Miyamoto,
Yeah.
Tetsuya Nomura.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. And like my brother that I live with, he has a PS4, so I'm probably still going to end up buying it.
You're
and
going
playing it.
to have to find a way to play it because
Yeah.
I think it's.
We have a PS4 in the house. My personal preference is Xbox.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what this game is. He invented a new genre. Did you see that? He with Death Stranding, I can't remember what it was, like a socially connected adventure game. Like he created like the new term. I'll look it up. It's funny. But
yeah, I still don't necessarily know what the game is, but it looks so good, and I
That's
have
Kojima
complete
for
trust
you.
in Hideo Kojima to put out a great game. He doesn't half-ass anything.
Okay, so this is from GameSpot. The title is Death Stranding invents a new genre, Kojima says. Death Stranding is a, quote, action strand game. So whatever that means, apparently he's created that genre. It's an action strand game, parentheses,
No idea
social
what that
strand
means.
system.
I mean, I'm not surprised
I'm not
he
either.
practically invented the stealth espionage games.
Yeah.
I don't know what the game's about. I mean, we know a little bit
Roughly.
more. Granted, we saw the 9-minute
It's
trailer.
like we know the frame. We don't even know what the picture is.
Right.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's not even that we know the frame. We just have bits and pieces that we're trying to
Decode.
connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to connect.
I bet he's like same with like Marvel and like the studio heads at Disney.
Right.
They every time a new trailer drops, every time there's a new screenshot, like everybody, us, the hardcore of the hardcore, are always like pick it apart, and I bet they're just laughing their ass off. They're like, this means nothing, but they're gonna.
What's it? Was it September?
So Gears
October?
5 comes out in September. Death Stranding comes out in November.
November. Okay.
Borderlands 3 is this fall. Also, Modern Warfare. Of course.
I'm a huge Borderlands.
When does
nut.
Cyberpunk come out?
That's April, or
April
even
next year.
maybe May next year.
That's gonna be my game of this year, next year, and the year after that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that.
But yeah, another one. Yeah, Borderlands 3. I'm a huge. I sunk. I'm probably like 200 hours into Borderlands 2. I played it all the time.
Never could get into them.
How?
Oh,
I don't know. I just it's so addicting, and I know Borderlands 3 is going to be. It looks really, really good. I'm definitely getting. That's a day one buy for me. What else did you say? Gears.
Gears 5. Did you guys see? Now they didn't show it at the Microsoft conference, but did you guys look up any gameplay of the? I think it's escape mode.
Escape. No,
Did you
I
guys see
saw
any of
it.
the gameplay of
I
that?
know about it. I read about it, but I haven't seen any gameplay.
I'm gonna pull up the 2019 video game releases list, and we'll just kind of go down the list here.
What are we hyped for? What are we not hyped for? Since
Ge-
Gears 3, I haven't been hyped for Gears, but this one
yeah.
does look really good. And Gears 4 looked really good. I just can't.
All right, so I'm gonna start in August. Actually, I guess maybe July. Nope, nothing in July. All right, so we'll start with August. Shenmue 3. That's a PS4 PC. Did you guys ever play it on Dreamcast?
I played the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I know it's got like some hardcore fanboys. And
Oh,
That's the
fans.
only reason it's being made is that
Yeah.
they started a GoFundMe, and that's how.
Yeah.
That's just not my cup of
Forgot
tea.
about another one. November. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, dude.
What'd you guys think of the the E3, the EA Play.
A little underwhelming.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks good. I'm going to have to see more.
Now, did
But
you
I
guys?
know they addressed the fact that it was underwhelming, and they showed like a behind doors, like a
Yeah.
better trailer, something along those lines.
So
But
if
I'm so
If you guys go to
I'll probably still end up
youtube.com/
playing it, but
SavePointVids, I put up so they did release the 30-minute trailer or 30-minute gameplay demo. I did a reacts to that where basically I just watched it live for the first time.
Mhm.
It wasn't anything that was. I mean, it was just like the demo they showed. It was just expanded a little more.
all right.
It was still the same planet. It wasn't like they showed you like something crazy new that you weren't expecting. What I'm most interested in, and the reason that I think that it was a misstep, not that the game doesn't look good, is because did you guys hear the story that it was kind of floating around all the big outlets that the game is like Metroid, in the sense that the actual structure of the game, you're going to get your ship, like the very beginning is going to be very linear, but you get your ship and then you can tackle the planets in any order, and then you'll
I
get,
didn't read about
as
that.
you develop new Jedi powers, you can
go back.
go back to different areas that were inaccessible before. I think if they would have said something like that, not necessarily, that's hard to demo.
That's
So-
pretty cool though, and that is a little bit like like you said, Metroid, but
Mm-hmm.
even like a more modern type game. That's kind of like the Dark Souls and Sekiro
Mhm.
type thing, because there's certain places that you can't really go to until you have a certain item or
Right.
certain ability.
Yeah, and so I
the
think
world's kind of interconnected.
I on the one hand I get why they didn't show that, or not even that they didn't show that, they didn't talk about that, is because they wanted to just show like, hey, this is the Star Wars game that you guys have been wanting since
Right.
EA developed. It's got all the check off the list. It's got the lightsabers, it's got the Jedi, it's got the stormtroopers,
Force
it's got
powers.
the Force powers, it's got the AT-ATs. It's got all these classic hallmark Star Wars
I
stuff
still
in it.
think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I
It's
still
just what they showed.
am going to play it, but
Yeah.
They could have.
I'm definitely excited for other games more.
Right. What?
Maybe you're not excited, but Code Vein.
What's Code Vein?
That is like the anime Dark Souls. That's what it is.
Nerd.
And
It
people
does
are
look-
really hyped for it.
It does
you
look
know?
good. Isn't it?
So who's the developer? I know nothing about this game.
Nah, I think it's Bandai Namco.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's anime Dark Souls, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess that's kind of shortchanging it a little bit. But that's kind of what it's known for.
I see. I can't even picture this game. I don't know what it.
Obviously, you guys can tell I'm like big like nerd for those types of games. That looks really cool. The Code Vein.
Oh, did you guys see? I don't know. Was it at the Microsoft conference? Blair Witch.
Yeah, man. What's
Yeah.
that about?
I
I was surprised. that
They looked scary. Like, it looked
looked good.
intriguing.
I thought it was either. I honestly thought it was either a reimagining or like a reboot of Alan Wake at first.
Yeah, I played the first Alan. There was only one Alan Wake, right? Or was there two? Anyways, I played Alan Wake, the first one. It was really good.
And or I thought it was like the next Outlast game because it had that,
That had
like
the
the video
camera,
camera,
Shaky
the night,
camera
yeah.
type stuff.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Code Vein. So if you're into Dark Souls and anime, you nerds, check it out.
Yeah.
Control. Did you guys see that one? Remedy, the guys that did.
I know Remedy, but
What was the last game they did? It was like it was the blend of live action and it was live action.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
Yeah.
So this one is more of a traditional game, but yeah, I don't remember the exact name. You basically play as an agent and a like the paranormal branch of the CIA or whatever the
Men who stare at goats.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then you use like these telekinetic powers to basically manipulate the environment and things like that.
Cool. Remedy's a good developer.
I mean, it looks like just like a straight up Remedy game, and like very stylish action. Cyberpunk, April 16th. So, what else do we
I
need
think
to
we
say
need to
about
get
that?
a Switch. We had a Switch, not anymore, man. But I like the Luigi's Mansion games.
Yeah. Did you guys see? Was Deathloop? That was the Oh, that was the one from the guys that did Dishonored.
Yeah, their name.
Shoot.
What are their names?
That's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
Dishonored's good.
Shoot. But yeah, so that one looks. I think you play as two, or maybe I don't know if you play as two. Like Arcane Studios, that's who it was.
Yeah.
But you play as two assassins. I think one is trying to basically get out of the death loop, and it's like a Groundhog's Day from hell type of thing, where you keep, if I remember correctly, and I'm trying to do this off the top of my head, you basically play the same day or the same section of time over and over.
They showed that at E3.
It wasn't like a gameplay demo, but it was.
Was it where the one where there was like an overhead?
No, that's
not what you're
12
talking-
minutes.
Okay, yeah.
So this one is, it looked like a Quentin Tarantino film. It was very grainy and gritty, like noir type of. What was that movie he did with Robert Rodriguez? Death Race, and what was the other one? But it had that very.
I know.
It had that very like grindhouse film type of vibe
Yeah.
to it. But yeah, so that looks cool. Dreams. I don't get into those games. That's the one from Media Molecules, PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
It's the ones that did
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Have you seen the stuff that's coming out of that though? It's really cool. Like you can build entire games. Like somebody recreated like either the whole level or the first part, or maybe it might have been the whole game of Dead Space within Dreams. Like everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, like it's just very.
I'm just not creative enough
not
to
either.
like.
There's no way I
anything
can do
like
that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's stop there because we haven't talked about this yet. What did you guys think of the E3 demo?
That was the showstopper. That was the game of the show. That was I think for me at least. And Square Enix was like the highlight of the entire E3
Man.
for me. They showed a lot of stuff, but yeah, the 7 remake looks really good.
It does. It looks like everything you want.
I'm too excited for it. I don't even know if I can wait another year.
I like the gameplay they went with, where you can the
Like a
ATB
hybrid
bar.
mix.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hybrid mix of real-time action, and then you can kind of pause it when your ATB bar fills up
To actually
and
use different commands. Yeah.
You can switch between characters. When they showed off Tifa, everybody was hyped. I was hyped. It looks so good.
It does look super.
I like how they're going to give secondary characters more shine, like Jesse.
That's what I was wondering. I was like,
Right.
And
because I
they're
think-
adding elements like I forget what they're called, the black things that were swirling around Cloud and
yeah, what
Aerith.
was that?
I forget.
I don't know.
Because we saw that in the trailer, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know what that is a reference to.
But it's new. They're adding it
Okay.
to the story and to make it more of a complete story on its own. The first part
See,
of the
that's
game.
what I was wondering. Because if you guys, we might have talked about this already, but if you know what you're doing when playing the PS1 original, you can get through Midgard in like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can steamroll through that game, and I was
Yeah.
like, how are they going to take that? And if each section or each release is supposed to be the equivalent of a full length game, I was like, how are
Two
you?
full-length games. They said
Yeah.
2 Blu-rays for the first game.
So I was like, how are they gonna? But yeah, that's good to know that they are expanding,
I
adding
think
some
they're
new
going to
story.
make every part of Midgar accessible.
That's
And
so
then,
cool.
Because it make it like a huge city. Because
Right.
you're going to have to kind of do that.
And
You can't-
they're also I heard they're going to be rearranging the certain events in different orders. So they showed. I watched something where in the trailer when they were fighting Airbuster, Cloud actually had the hard edge and not
Right.
the Buster sword.
Yeah.
They said that they might maybe give Red 13, maybe you get them a little earlier, or maybe
Right.
not until the second part comes
Man,
out.
I'm
Your
super
first
pumped.
encounter
It
with
looks-
Sephiroth is earlier in the game.
I saw that, yeah, or I read that.
the game is gorgeous.
It looks really good. It looks really,
And I
really
can't
good.
wait for like when you get out of Midgar, because there's so many different types of environments.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
it's gonna
I
look so
am
good.
excited. Well, the one thing Square's always done really well with is the production value.
Yeah.
Whether the overall quality of the game has it's hit or miss depending on who you talk to, but like you can't deny that the game's always
They make some beautiful.
They
games.
really know how to make a game look good, and this is definitely no exception. Yeah, man, I'm super pumped.
I know Vincent and Yuffie,
they're not optional anymore.
Right, so they're
mandatory
or like you can't miss it. The first half of next year is gonna be big. It's gonna be like packed.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII and Cyberpunk alone. I mean that's
gonna take up my entire year, dude.
Oh man. So and then we got Gears 5 on September 10th. Talked about a little bit about that. Luigi's Mansion 3. Did you guys ever get into the Ultimate Alliance games? No, not really.
Well, is that like the?
It's like the
beat 'em
four,
up, team up.
player.
We played a lot of. I don't know. If
Wait, we
people
did,
might
didn't we?
remember
On
X-Men Legends.
That was.
Oh, was
X-Men
that the
Legends.
one?
Time ago?
Okay.
We've all played a lot of that.
I remember that one.
That was
fun. That's a good game. If it's anything like that, it's a possibility.
What about Marvel's Avengers? What do you guys think about that?
I need to see more.
I need to see more. What they showed didn't really impress me, but I also know that
I was pretty disappointed.
I also know that that's not like going to be indicative of the final product.
Right. And sure. I mean, it's still a year away
but
from
what they
release.
showed, it just was kind
It's
of
still
boring.
taking me some time to get used to the fact that they're different people. It's not
I
Robert
know.
Downey Jr.
Yeah, that was a little
It's
hard.
not Scarlett Johansson.
It was a little hard to get around.
Yeah, I
like,
didn't
what's
think
going
it was
on?
going to be weird, but it was weird seeing like somebody else in the Iron Man suit after
Somebody else's
10
Thor.
plus years or whatever.
But
who's it developed by? Square.
it's
Is it Square
Eidos
Enix
Montreal.
publishing, or-
Yeah, they're publishing. It's Eidos Montreal. Crystal Dynamics is doing like
They make
support
good
work.
games, so I mean, I'm not.
Now, did you
super-
guys hear that it is? It sounds like now they've been very cagey about giving a direct answer, but when they were interviewed, it sounds like it's going to be like not a free to play, but like a live service game.
What, Avengers game?
Avengers. So it'll have like I'm assuming it's going to be similar to a Division or Destiny where you have the main campaign and then there's going to be end game content, but then every once in a while they'll drop like a big content.
Expansion type
update.
thing.
I'd prefer if it wasn't, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I mean.
If it is like that, I don't think it would stop
For
me
those
from playing
games,
it.
I'm just gonna wait like a month or two and kind of see what the feel for it is, if people are digging it or not, before I
Now this
waste
game,
money.
did you guys see Ori? That game looked good.
Yeah.
That trailer
I never played the first one, but
blew me away. Just from a visual standpoint,
It's gorgeous.
I'm not gonna get an Xbox just because of that game, but I will definitely come over and play
Go for it. And
that game looked really good. That honestly was probably one of the games I was most impressed by at Microsoft's conference.
yeah,
The one that I was probably disappointed about was probably Halo. I really thought we were going to see some type of gameplay.
yeah,
And I think maybe that was my expectation. Not necessarily that the trailer itself was bad.
yeah.
But
I think it's still. I'm not gonna say early in development, but I don't think it's coming. It's obviously a launch title for the new Xbox, so maybe they're just saving it up. I was pretty disappointed to see that there wasn't gameplay.
And with
anything.
Microsoft's conference in general,
It didn't blow me away.
I don't think when they talked about Scarlet, I don't think they gave us any new information than what we knew before,
Right.
which was very
yeah.
surprising. Like we didn't get an official name, we didn't like all the specs. That
I
we
wanted
heard.
to see something running
I
on
did
the
too.
game. I mean, Halo was, but I mean that's just like a cutscene or
Right.
whatever. Because Phil Spencer said that they're building it to be the best system, so I wanted to see it and I didn't.
Right.
And
What about Rainbow Six Quarantine?
I never got into Rainbow Six because when I played it, it was like the weekend that it came out.
Right.
Back then, it kind of sucked.
I'm interested in this
I
only
know
because
it's really good now, so don't get mad at me. I know it's really good now. It's really popular. It's like one of the most popular
biggest
esports.
Yeah, I never got into it. I played it, I think, at your guys' place.
Yeah.
Literally once or twice. If you don't remember, this one was announced at Ubisoft's conference. It's Rainbow Six, obviously, but it looks like it's a zombie type of game where the enemies are like infected I don't know if they're zombies exactly, but something along those lines. It reminds me a lot. Now, we didn't see any gameplay. This was just an announcement trailer. But the vibe that I got is that it's going to be Left 4 Dead.
Great games.
A little more of a darker tone and more tactical gameplay. But in the sense that, yeah, so like Rainbow Six type of game. But at the same time, like, it's going to be you and I think it's squads of 3. So you and 2 others having to get from point A to point B, and being very strategic about how you're gonna. It's not like
sounds so cool.
It's not like run and gun, or at least the impression I got, just because it's Rainbow Six.
Right.
It's not like a run and gun type of game like a Left 4 Dead, but it is that similar framework, and that it's you and friends trying to get across the map.
Which sounds good. I never have anybody to play with though. Sometimes when you get hooked up with randoms, they don't know what they're doing. So.
Or they just.
But I like the concept of that. I love like the teamwork aspect. It's just you got to find a good team.
Right.
Which is hard.
The Outer Worlds. Did you guys? This is
that's
the Obsidian game.
Obsidian. That looks really good.
They make good games.
And New Vegas is like.
That was probably
people
my
say
favorite.
that's like the best Fallout.
I was gonna say that was my favorite. Never beat it, but it was. I probably sunk close to 100 hours into it.
Yeah, so that looks really good. I always love a good kind of Western RPG.
Right. And then that's really it. And the other one we were talking about, what was it? 12 minutes. That was the top-down one where.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
They got me.
And so,
I wanted to know what was going to happen.
I gotta get.
So
12 minutes.
so for those who don't know, it's a top-down game. I can't remember who it's developed by.
Was it Annapurna or
maybe.
A23, 24, A24? It was one of those two.
I think it might have been Annapurna then. Maybe not. I don't know. But so yeah, it looks like it's a top-down type of game, isometric-ish. But yeah, I'm assuming it's a Groundhog Day. You're playing through. I'm assuming 12 minutes, or is it 7 minutes? Is it called 12 minutes?
12.
Okay.
I can't remember.
And you gotta because you keep dying, or like your wife keeps dying, or like somebody's
or
coming
something.
after you. You don't know what's going on.
It was like the cops, and like she was getting arrested because
so depending
she killed
on
her dad or something.
Yeah, and so depending on the decisions you make, do you hide? Do you confront the cop? Do you cooperate?
But it all takes place in that one room. And
and so
at least that's all we saw, and it looked crazy.
And so it looks very. It looks good.
I want to know how long it'd take to beat, though, because if that is the only room, I can't imagine.
I feel like that can't be the only room, but crazy things have been done in video games.
So, who knows?
Remember,
but
what was the game where you played as like a feather and you just floated around?
Oh, yeah.
That was
from the PS3 first.
Oh yeah, I remember playing that one.
What was the point?
I think it was just like a relaxation.
Yeah, it was very strange.
It wasn't like try to get from point A to point B.
Never played it, I just saw it.
That's like that one game. What was it? You played as like a mosquito. It was like PS2.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one too.
Yeah,
and you try to like suck blood from people and not die.
I'm not finding it.
But yeah. So yeah, my most hyped games for the second half. It's either Borderlands 3 or Modern Warfare.
Mine would be Modern Warfare for sure.
Yeah. Bring Call of Duty back. I miss the days when like everybody was a Call of Duty fanboy. It's because I'm such a huge fan. I hate to see it when people don't like it.
The funny thing is that everybody likes to hate on it now.
But
those are the same people that end up buying. There's a reason that it's going to sell,
millions of copies.
The only time, I think in the last 15 years or whatever it's been since the original Modern Warfare, or even before that Call of Duty wasn't the number one selling game of the year was when Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 were released.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like the number one selling game every single year.
People hate on it, but
they still end up buying it.
It's just so it's addicting.
Yeah.
Even when it's a bad Call of Duty game, it's still fun. It's still fun.
And the Bringing Back campaign,
which I'm super pumped about.
If it's true, the 200-man battle royale, that'll be
that just
crazy.
Sounds insane.
I play Call of Duty for the multiplayer, so that'll get me hooked. And they're getting rid of the score streaks and bringing back regular kill streaks.
Yeah. So I'm
callable nukes. I mean,
I'm excited
maybe that
for all
doesn't sound
of this.
like a big deal, but to like Call of Duty fans, it's like that's really cool.
I mean, yeah, that's probably one of them, and then the other one is probably Death Stranding. I just want to see what that is, and I don't.
Yeah.
So the thing is I don't know, because with Metal Gear Solid 5, I mean that game took, I mean, what, 30, 40, depending on how deep you got into it, 50 hours to complete or more.
Yeah. I never beat it. I got maybe like 15 hours into it.
I'm assuming this game is going to be more along those lines, and less like, because then you compare it to MGS4 or the one 3, 2, or even 1, where you can beat those games in probably a dozen hours. If it's a very linear, structured experience.
Especially 4. 4 was the most linear out of the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I actually there was another video I put up like 2 weeks ago where there was a story floating around that Sony's strategy was going to, for the PS5, was going to be all about like really leaning into like hardcore gaming and hardcore gamers, and they were going to be, and you hear this every time a new console generation comes up, but they're going to be acquiring a bunch of new studios. To expand their portfolio, and I was like, it only makes sense for them to get Kojima Productions. Like, whatever you have to pay to make that happen, just give it to him. He hasn't made a bad game, and the fact that his name is on a game, that alone I think is going to sell systems to...
Yeah.
If that's the strategy you're going for and you want to get the hardcore players who are like us, who follow the industry and know what that name means, it only makes sense to like scoop him up and just make it. I mean, you're already paying for this exclusive game. I think it would be a cool story.
Microsoft just throw like $100 billion at him and bring him to Xbox.
I mean, somebody's gonna. I have a feeling. I mean, unless they have some new exclusive deal where it's only going to come to PlayStation. I say just buy it outright. Buy the studio outright. Make him obviously. Keep him in his position and just give him unlimited resources to make. Release a new.
He can't make a bad game.
Tell him to release a new game.
I'm so low key upset. We'll never ever get to play Silent Hills.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that looks super cool. Modern Warfare, again, we've already talked that to death, but that looks really good. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Like I said, Borderlands 3, Modern Warfare, Death Stranding.
I think those are the big 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, guys, I guess that's it. Like I said, let us know what you guys think. Tweet at me, SavePointJosh, SavePointVids. Drop a comment below. Always open to having a conversation and a dialogue with you guys.
What you guys are hyped for.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if there's anything that we missed. And yeah, what am I trying to say? Oh, do you guys have anything you want to pimp? Any
Nope.
Twitter?
Play Warframe.
Yep.
King Taylor 99 on Xbox Live.
Is that what it is? King Taylor 99. Okay. So play Warframe. I might download it. But yeah,
Nice. Good game, man.
look for this. YouTube.com/SavePointVids. Again, give it a like, a thumbs up. Twitch.tv/BubbyTTV.
I'm gonna check him out. I got the Twitch app on my phone.
Yeah,
I watch
he's
he
that's all he'll ever play is Fortnite. But that's what he likes to do. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Everybody, stay safe.